Hey everyone, so I announced this game Silicon Architect, I think 3 days ago at this point, last week Friday. I'm recording this Monday morning, so it's been almost 72 hours since announcement, and in that time we've made 176 wishlists. I just wanted to share this number with you and talk a little bit about what we did do, and that worked, and what we didn't do, or what did do and didn't work, you know, all of those things basically, to give you a bit more of an idea of this number, because let's start with the elephant in the room. I am a little bit not happy with this number. I think if it was 200 now, I would have been more happy. We're like just underneath. I'm not like devastated. I wish it was a little bit higher, but you know, we always wish to instantly go viral. But I think even assuming like we wouldn't have gone viral, I was hoping for a little bit more. Actually, I was recently looking at also the how to market a game benchmarks, where here the coming soon page launch, which is where we're at right now. How many wishes will I earn when I launch my page? I think this is kind of weird wording because it's not that launching your page will earn you wish lists. It's more like launching your page, depending on how good your marketing is kind of going to set the trend for the rest of your development cycle. My goal, definitely, this is in a 2-week time period. Like if you go into this article, this looks at like first 2 weeks data, how many wishlists you get. We're already clearing the bronze tier. I would definitely like to get silver tier. I think that is what my main goal now for like the remaining 11 days basically is getting us up to 500 wishlists. We'll talk about how exactly we're going to do that later. But that is definitely kind of my personal goal. I think in the first 2 weeks, 500 wishlists. It's not like, oh, we're going to retire generational wealth levels, but I think it is, you know, a solid start to game development or like to your game's development. So where do our wishlists come from? Let's talk about the first big one, itch.io. So together with the Steam store page, because the Steam store page, you know, it's just a store page, doesn't really do much. What we did coinciding with that is I launched the first playtest version of Silicon Architect that, you know, you can play it in browser. This is actually something that matters more than I could have thought, basically. So you can play the game in browser. And then it also has just like a bunch of like information. So like a wish list, and then similarly to the Steam store page. And it has gotten a little bit of traction, I would say, a bunch of feedback. Like some of these people are Bite Me viewers, but a lot also aren't. So if you look at the stats, 2,671 browser plays. I'm going to be honest, this is the first time I'm like really doing itch.io. For MO98, we had a itch.io build as well, but that build, I'm just gonna say it, that was bad because there were like, I think there were like for some reason there were like 3 main bugs with that build that kind of, we just took it offline after a few days because it wasn't good. It was download only, that game. Here we can see, okay, 2,671 browser plays, and down here we can actually see only, I think, a total of 84 downloads. People, like, that's the thing of like itch.io, and it's what I knew as well. If you want to do well on itch.io, you need to have a web build. I'm sorry, Unreal Bros. That's just how it is. We can also see where people are coming from. So a lot of traffic is actually not coming from the direct link, because then we would come to like bitemegames.com, for example. But more from like incremental, new and popular for incremental, new and popular for web. So this was traffic driven by itch.io for the most part, and then incremental DB. We'll talk about it in a second. I think like by website or domain. Also basically like a tiny bit of Reddit, a little bit of Reddit, incremental DB, itch.io, and then actually YouTube. YouTube is, as you can see, it's going to be the ones that's like the Bite Me audience. When I did the live stream of like, hey, go and like play test my game basically. Statistically, fractionally, this is like less than 5% that you guys are doing. So the goal of this video isn't to be like, oh my God, wishlist the game right now. Because I know at this point, that's not really what matters. I want to market this game standalone from the Bite Me Games audience. Of course, getting like feedback from developers is fine, but especially like wishlist marketing, that wasn't the goal. That was step number 1 was then the itch.io build. I'm actually surprised that day 2 performed better than day number 1. And then I guess now we're going to be going down a little bit more. So yesterday was 1,000 views, and then I think the timer like reset about 90 minutes ago. So it's gonna have to go up again. Another place where we showcase the game is incremental DB, and this is where also some of the people saw this game from. And so far, oh, here it is, 11 upvotes, 18 downvotes. The people in incremental DB seem to be, for the most part, absolutely miserable. But comparatively to MO98, that one is 21 upvotes, 44 downvotes. I think we're doing better. There's like one comment right now from a guy, but the guy is kind of weird and he just doesn't like this style of game because he's like giving the same feedback on every single game. If you like look at his reviews, he just doesn't like Windows style games, which is fine. So incremental DB was also a pretty good driver of like external traffic to itch.io. And then the one that I'm kind of the most disappointed by is Reddit. So we did Reddit again. Last time we did Reddit, and it was kind of like an offhand thing of like, oh yeah, maybe I should do Reddit. And as you can see here, we had 85,000 views on the announcement. This was the announcement, 500 upvotes. And then also 94,000 views. This is for the release date announcement, or like the release announcement actually, out now. Yeah. So these were like very, very high performers and drew, I think like 300 wishlists or something, this announcement to MO98. So I'm like, okay, let's do that same thing again. And I made another post for Silicon Architect, only 12,000 views, 2 comments and 24 upvotes. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was a little bit bummed out about the Reddit one. I don't know what happened. Like all of the other like games coming in, like I know to a certain degree what happened. Let's talk about the elephant in the room for a second. This game is not as sexy as an MMO. Like MMO98 is a more sexy game. I know that. Maybe let's address this now. The question you get then, of course, is why don't you just make MMO98 V2? And the thing is, because I do not have enough new things to bring to the table there. And it's the same question I've been asked before of like, why don't you guys just make Unicycle Pizza Time #2? And it's like, because I'm creatively drained on that idea. This is an idea that I'm really loving. I'm really behind this. And this is a game that I can make good as well. Yes, the fantasy may not be as strong. Also, I think I can still make the game look better. Because, you know, if you look at just like the simple screenshots, I do get it. We're not going to have like dragons and like fantasy, like super deep. But I think still there is an audience for this game, I would say. Because otherwise we would have gotten 10 wishlists at this point. It's just not as strong, you know. If you look up, like, do we still have it? Like, if you look up MMO in Steam, we still show up as, like, kind of like the first game result almost. Because people just really like dragons and MMOs and all of that stuff. Silicon Architect is like, who the fuck wants to design their own CPU components? You know, I get that. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I still think there's an audience. I had hoped that the audience from the Reddit post would have been a tiny bit bigger. But unfortunately, that didn't work. Something else that I did is also cross-promotion. You know, there's this saying that I've heard before and that I do kind of stand by. To be successful on Steam, you have to be successful on Steam, which is the most dumb thing. But it also ties into, for example, things like the Steam algorithm. If you make Steam money, Steam will make you more money through things like, for example, the daily deal. If you have a successful game and you get a daily deal, you're kind of getting like another like $5,000 to $25,000 for free because you get that daily deal because you've given Steam enough money that they want to make you make more money, basically. Whereas if you have a game that's not really selling well, the Steam algorithm, discovery queue, and all of those things will not kick into action to support you. That's the one hand. On the other hand, you will build up an audience. You will have people who played your previous games who will carry over into your future games. So that's kind of the theory that I'm testing out here as well, where Steam has this concept for cross-promotion, which gives an announcement inside of like the Steam library, I think it is, where we can make an announcement of like, hey, if you played MO98, you can actually get to know more about Silicon Architect, announcing Silicon Architect. So I made this post only earlier today because I kind of was like too busy with other stuff and I forgot about it. But 18 impressions. So far, not great. I kind of expected this to not perform as well because of the fact that we're using the cross-promotion tag instead of it showing up like as in an actual like announcement here, which would of course give way more visibility, but it's kind of not what Steam wants you to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a good boy on Steam. I think those were the main sources of traffic that we did. So let's take a look at the UTM stats. These are relatively low in terms of like total volume, but hopefully they can help you get a bit more of an idea at least. So first of all, the highest source of wishlists, 74 visits and then 18 actual wishlists, is through the game's actual like playtest button. So I think actually here we can see it normally. Here, this wishlist button, this is a UTM link. So if you click this, you go to the Steam store page, it gets tracked and it gets added here. So 74 people clicked that wishlist button, which I think, you know, out of 2,600, that's a pretty low conversion rate, I guess. 3%? Is that's actually, I think, pretty okay. Maybe. I would say it's pretty okay, at least. Second off is the incremental game subreddit announcement, which, you know, wishlist-wise, I think still for 12,000 views, once again, I was hoping a little bit better. yeah, I think this is also a lower converting Reddit post in general than the MO98 one. And then web wishlist button itch. This is actually this is an image that's just like a screenshot from the Steam store page that I did like transparent background on and then posted it in here, and it's a link. So if you click this is not like an official Steam web widget. This is just an image that once again leads to a UTM link. I put it at the top, goes to Steam, and then you can wishlist it, which did 6 wishlists for us. SteamDB, I don't really know. And then this one, also the data is more recent, but it's actually seeming pretty promising because I only pushed this update a little bit less than 24 hours ago. Now, if you start MMO98, I actually don't have it open, but I can probably pull it up quickly. There is a call to action, once again, leading into that to get successful on Steam, you need to be successful on Steam thing. To wishlist our next game. Now there's this thing, loving our game, wishlist our next one for Silicon Architect. This is a button, and I think I gave it like a little bit of game feel, so it should like move every so often. Yeah. So you click this, once again, UTM link goes to the Steam store page. Use UTM links, because this way we can see what is actually working and what isn't. Now we know, okay, the subreddit is working good. I think the game, oh, you can filter apparently. Like, I think MO98 is going to perform well in the long run. Also, the reason why I wanted to like rush this out almost is because in a few hours today, I think like 12 hours from now or something when I'm recording this, MO98 is going to go on its first big discount that is not the summer sale, which I think is going to drive a bunch of more traffic as well, because we still have like 40,000 outstanding wishlists, which probably will lead to more people seeing this as well. So I'm kind of expecting some level of a spike there in terms of like baseline wishlist growth. So talking about baseline wishlist growth, maybe let's talk about how do we go from 176 wishlists to 500. Part of it is the cross promo, like I said. I think MO98 can definitely pull in about 100 wishlists, I would say, from the like little widget. I've spoken to other developers who've done similar things and have had pretty good results, where every time the old game goes on sale, it pushes the new game basically. Because especially the overlap between Silicon Architect and MO98 is so insanely big, I would say. Like, if you like MO98, there's a pretty big chance you're gonna like Silicon Architect, or at least like it's gonna pique your curiosity until there's like a real demo. So that's number one of what we're gonna do. And number two is, oh yeah, that's actually what we did and didn't work. We sent the trailer to Game Trailers, did nothing. We also uploaded the trailer for Silicon Architect to our own YouTube channel. So this is not the same YouTube channel you're watching this video on. I always say this. Like I said, we wanted to split the game dev side of our channel and then the game development side, because we realized the overlap isn't there. So this is a much smaller channel, 545 subscribers. And we uploaded the trailer and it now has 754 views. Probably we got some wishlists from here. I'm not sure about the exact ratio because it's something that we do not use UTM links for. With MO98's trailer, we went like giga viral and we were pulling in like 10,000 views a day. Like a few days after launch. That didn't happen here, unfortunately, but still, okay, you know, we uploaded 750 views, whatever. So how do we fix this? Like I said, baseline, I think the MO98 is going to push a little bit of traffic. And then I think what I'm going to do otherwise is content creation, short form, trying to push out a few shorts. I actually, as you can see, pushed out a short 1.5 hours ago. GameDev is making hardware engineering incremental game. Once again, not on the channel you're watching this video on, but on the Bite Me's Games channel. 750 views. It's the best we've done compared to like all of the Pripyat Zero shorts. And then I did like one other one so far. That's just like the trailer thrown into like a vertical format and then uploaded that. Also, I put the same video on TikTok Studio, which actually also is getting 276 views, it seems, which still isn't there. But this is once again a format that I spent like a full 4 minutes on or something in CapCut. I just threw something together. And the plan is, I think I'm going to try to do like one a day for the next 2 weeks, see if it actually has a measurable impact on wishlists or if it's just kind of something stupid. Two more things, one more thing kind of, it's like 2 in 1. No, it's actually just one thing. Press outreach. I did 2 press outreach. I think part of my mistake is that I did my press outreach on a Friday afternoon Japan time, and most of my press outlets were Japanese. And then the other ones that were American, Friday afternoon is like midnight on Thursday, like Thursday to Friday in America. So I think all of my emails kind of just hit at the wrong time. I think that was kind of a mistake. Looking back, releasing the game on a Friday like evening, somewhat evening. Like it was 12 p.m. Is it PM or AM? I don't know, like the time where the sun is the most high up in the sky. And no coverage has come so far from that. Maybe they need some more time. I remember it did take a few days for MO98 to get covered by like Automaton. Maybe we won't get covered. Maybe the appeal also isn't there. One of the things that I was going to try to do, especially once again considering like we do try Japanese marketing pretty well as well, was to localize all of the screenshots and the entire game, but it was just something that we had to get the game out there. The localization would have taken too much time. Would it have helped to have like a localized Japanese trailer? Probably, but we just couldn't get it all done on time. And I was like, we need to release this because we have more marketing beats coming up as well. What's next, I guess, is okay. The 2 weeks is kind of just like figuring out how YouTube Shorts is going to work. I think this is a very bad genre for shorts because of the very 16:9 nature of the game. But hey, maybe it's going to perform really well. I don't know. I'm trying it out now for 2 weeks and then just I have a little bit more data. Maybe I'll make a video about it at some point then if I learn more. But yeah, if you have a forced 16:9 game on a 9:16 aspect ratio, probably not as much. It's too early to reach out to content creators. That is going to be for our demo. So that's maybe what's next. Do the shorts a little bit. And then by the end of August now, because I actually got a lot of feedback, there's another, I'm not going to talk too much about the feedback, but basically the feedback summary is people liked what they saw. The big problem was onboarding, a little bit too turbo nerd sometimes. Kind of stuff I can fix, and I think we definitely can fix to make this game a good demo. The demo is currently scheduled for me, like internally, my plan is to be end of August or like September, like 2nd or something very early. Do content creator outreach for that one. Do another press outreach for that one. Do another trailer for the demo announcement. And I think hopefully this game will get better picked up. I don't know. Like kind of I'm traumatized by content creators because not a single one covered MO98. I think this is something that like, you know, a real civil engineer or whoever might want to play, but I'm not going to make any of those assumptions again. We're just going to see when we get there. So I think that's kind of it. That's the update. If you want to be an armchair game developer, feel free to do so. What's the secret to getting 1 million wish lists? We looked, I like considered paid ads, but paid ads do not make sense because this game is like targeted at like the launch price of like, you know, $5.99, $6.99 maybe, 10% launch discount, localized pricing, all of that. With even like a very good cost per wish list of like 50 cents a wish list, we're not really making any profit of that. So the goal is not really to pursue advertising for this game because it doesn't really make much sense. So anyways, that's kind of the behind the scenes of how I'm thinking of like doing a launch, all of the things that I want to do and the feedback or like the thoughts behind it. If that's something that interests you, then be sure to head down below. Also, if you want me to help you with your game and like figure out how do we launch this and all of that, there's a link down below as well where you can work directly with me that I just want to plug as well because Daddy has bills to pay. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.